You okay there, bud?
The 3 seconds before the music stopped. So
What was that?
So there's a moment before the music stops and we go live and we're like in front of a person. And like you and I can see each other. The audience can't see us. It's just playing the music. And we were just
we're seeing the music. We're seeing the music like the audience is, and then we have little small versions of ourselves below it. We can see what we are doing.
And we kind of just both went on a weird, like, I started it, just kind of waving and banging on our screens kind of rampage that kind of carried right over into the show. But what a way to start a Thursday night. How are you?
I am all right. I'm all right. A little tired, but got some new whiskey to try tonight. I haven't had it in years. I know that I have had it in the past when we did one of our tastings.
Okay.
So it's probably been at least since we worked at the bar that I've had this specific rye whiskey.
I'm Mike, by the way.
I'm Brendan.
This is Two Dudes Wearing Hats. Thank you for tuning in. Go to 2dwh.com. Like, subscribe, follow, wherever you do the things. Back to the whiskey.
What are you drinking on? Or do you want me to go ahead and start with mine? Or
you go ahead and announce yours and pour it, and I'll go into mine because mine's good, but nothing special.
Is it the same one you've had, or what are we on?
I don't remember.
You don't remember what you've been drinking? Nice.
I don't think it was this because I think last week was the Trade Water from Barton's 1792. I think that's what I did last week. But
name a cocktail with rye whiskey.
Name a cocktail with rye whiskey. A Sazerac. There you go. Sazerac rye.
That's what we're having.
The cocktail with rye whiskey.
Yes, it's pretty much the cocktail. I mean, we've made other cocktails with rye whiskey.
There's so many good ones.
Yeah.
Like a rye sour is actually fantastic. Like a rye sour is wonderful, which of course is a whiskey sour, but you're just specifically using rye whiskey. Rye sour is fantastic. I like rye with like ginger beer, ginger ale. I like that spicier kind of vibe to it. But yeah, Sazerac rye.
I like my ryes on the rocks. Much sweeter than I remember.
Okay.
It's got your spicy peppery finish, but nice and sweet. Nice and sweet.
So I think we had some of this past weekend watching WrestleMania. This is something we had a lot of in the bar and always had on hand.
Oh man. That was our we would do that whiskey. That was our shooting whiskey. That was Yeah,
we're gonna do some Old Granddad Bonded 100 proof bonded whiskey.
Oh, that's a good shout out, Bob. I kind of remember that. We made a rye lemonade drink at one point, didn't we? It was rye, lemon.
Probably.
It goes, I've forgotten more of those drinks than I remember.
We could figure it out. You and I are both aplenty with bar recipe books.
Got some books over here, but I also have like the old in this little stack that's over here, the old file from oh my gosh, I cannot think of the whiskey professor's name right now. Bernie Lubbers. That's his How Bourbon is Made and the 7 Steps to Bourbon book and whatnot.
I'm looking for a specific one because you know what? We're going to give away a recipe right now. Here we go. Here's one.
Give away a recipe.
These belong to a company. Hold on. Oh, so let me see. Hold on. Let's say you wanted to make. No, I'm not gonna do that. That would be something to do.
Too specific.
I
think we can start doing cocktails or making cocktails or.
Oh, I meant we just expose cocktails from companies. We just reveal other recipes.
I have the TGI. I have the TGI Fridays bartender handbook up here.
I have the Presidente, the Chili's Presidente margarita recipe.
It's the only bartending job I had to audition with a little bit of flair to get.
What did you do for a little bit of flair?
They wanted to see you do some flair. I did the ice thing over the shoulder.
Flair, if you don't know what that is when you bartend and do flashy things. You throw the bottle, you light things on fire, you flip things, you see the bartenders in like movies and like in cocktail.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Flair.
Except in cocktail, they spill. You don't want to spill. That just wastes the bar's my use.
True. They were like whipping the liquor around like it was part of it. And like, that's expensive.
If you've ever seen me do flair, you'll notice the bottle has about this much liquor in it.
Mm-hmm.
That also helps with the
Just a weight.
balance and everything like that. So
It's more than
yeah,
just weight than anything else.
yeah. But
The Saints are on
so,
the clock.
so yeah, I was thinking even we could take the camera and film some actual like bar tutorials and then have a segment here where we
Yeah,
could show the people a drink being made while we go off camera for a second and do things like this and yell. I don't know.
it could have the drink. The drink we could make could have 1.5 ounces of ancient age. It could have 0.5 ounces of yellow chartreuse. It could have a splash of honey. It could have a 0.5 ounce of Dolan sweet vermouth. It could also have a dropper of burlesque bitters, which were like a lemon, like
See,
Earl Grey.
there's always going to be
cardamom
some
bitter.
bullshit in there you got to go out for.
And then shake it over ice, put it in a glass with ice and a straw. And no, shake it over ice and put it in a glass with a big block.
With a big block.
A big block cube.
Big block o ice.
Yes, the legendary big block o ice.
So what have you been watching? What have you been playing? What have you been doing? What's new?
So I'm still, what I've been watching is always going to involve what I'm going to refer to now as the McBride verse, the Danny McBride universe. I still haven't finished Vice Principals. I've got like a few episodes left of that. It was a finite show. They only did 2 seasons of it. So
Gotcha.
There's only so much to watch. Righteous Gemstones is having its final season. This week's episode was fantastic. That's been the majority of what I've watched. The wife and I haven't hit movie night yet. It's her week. I don't know what we're going to end up watching.
Okay.
I've been trying to get caught up on wrestling.
Can we talk about the fact? I don't think we've discussed it to our people here yet and discussed it with them yet.
What?
That if they're not following your movie club, do you want to tell them?
At McLaren Movie Club on Instagram.
Do you want to tell them what you made your wife watch that she voted as maybe the worst movie of? Did she say worst of all time? Or
yes.
Really?
Yes. She called it the most pointless, stupid, offensive movie ever made.
I can't believe you showed her
the Tom Green classic, Freddy Got Fingered. So that movie has a weird place in my brain.
It's so weird.
What's the Rip Taylor? Is it Rip Taylor?
Is his
it's
dad?
Not Rip Torn.
Rip Torn.
It's not. Is that Rip Torn?
I think so.
I thought Rip Torn was the guy who was throwing the confetti at the end of the Wayne's World movie. Like, I'm Rip Torn.
No,
that was Rip Torn.
Oh, I don't know. That's okay, maybe that is Rip Torn. You're thinking of the guy who was also in the Marvel verse.
The Marvel verse?
Or he was in the X-Men. Wasn't he? That's Rip Taylor, Bob says.
Which one's Rip Taylor was in Wayne's World?
You are thinking of Rip Torn.
Rip Torn. Okay, so Rip Torn is the dad. Rip Torn is hilarious in this movie because he'll do these weird things where he'll be normal, delivering lines, being angry, and then just do goofy like he'll just do like a guttural animal noise and make like a face and then just walk off camera. Freddy Got Fingered is an anti-movie. It's everything a movie isn't supposed to be.
Yeah.
And you can kind of tell it was on purpose. I've seen a few like YouTube videos and podcasts about the kind of smarter people about movies than us who break those things down. And Tom Green like took over the production of that movie at one point and kind of started making it whatever he wanted to do, from what I understand. And that's why a lot of that movie is so irreverent. At the end scene, somebody holds a sign up that says, "When the fuck is this going to end?" Because like He understood at that point it was nothing was happening, and it was just goofy thing after goofy thing after goofy thing. There's a scene like 8 minutes in, like 8 or 9 minutes, under 10 minutes into the movie, where he is driving out to California. He's driving from his home in Portland to California.
Mm-hmm.
And he drives past a horse farm and he sees a horse.
Oh, God, yeah.
And the horse is ready to rock. And he jumps out of the car and runs over and finishes the horse for no reason. And then it just cuts to another scene. There's no reason to have that scene in the movie. It's literally just Tom Green was like, I'm going to do this in the movie.
I forgot about that until you said it. I'm amazed your wife stayed on board after that.
It was the first moment I thought to myself, I fucked up. I'm gonna get divorced. She's gonna leave me.
She's gonna leave me.
Like, I forgot that there's... First off, that movie was like 1999,
yeah,
I think, or something like that. There's words in that movie we don't use anymore. There's a lot of words in that movie. Well, there's one word they keep using that we don't use anymore.
Gotcha.
And it's wild because there's the female character, the love interest, Betty.
The love interest, yeah.
Do you remember what Betty's thing was?
I don't remember a whole lot.
Betty was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And had a fetish for having her legs whacked with a bamboo.
Oh my God, yeah, and she couldn't feel it.
And there's a whole scene of him just going to town, just whacking the legs with the rock. And it's just for no reason. Once again,
right.
For no reason. This movie
makes no sense.
Terrible. And honestly, it's the one movie where I actually am like, man, should I have done something else?
Nah, not at all.
But she will get revenge at some point for me or on me. We'll see. What about you?
I'm very curious. Excuse me. I've been playing my 2K universe, manipulating it around, trying to pay more attention to it and actually play almost all the matches and try to follow the storylines a little bit. And I've been on Assassin's Creed Shadows. I also noticed that they dropped a download for Oblivion Remastered.
Did you ever play that game?
I think I started it. I believe it starts in a prison, and I believe I started that one. I played the living hell out of Skyrim. I mean, played and restarted Skyrim more times than I should have.
Never picked up Skyrim.
Fantastic game. Fantastic for just you're walking in a world and you see in the distance, is that a cave on that mountain? There's something on that mountain over there. Let's just walk to it and find out. And then you get there and it's a giant, or who knows what it. I mean, it's just these awesome fantasy worlds that I still haven't seen everything in Skyrim to this day. I'm sure people who've played Oblivion haven't seen everything in Oblivion. Bethesda makes massive.
That feels like Elden Ring, except Elden Ring. What's that thing on that mountain in the distance? Let me go walk towards it or ride my horse and find out what that thing is in the distance. Oh, hey, what's this bird going to do? I'm dead. And then I'm going to come back and go back towards the mountain. Okay, I'm going to avoid the bird. I'm going to avoid the bird. I'm going to avoid the bird. Oh, that spider's not fair. I'm dead.
Well, maybe this is the perfect time to try one of those games. Now that it's been remastered, it looks beautiful. It looks like Skyrim. Did you ever play? I mean, if I were to say what is your favorite RPG you played, have you played any specific RPGs that you can think of, or are you an RPG fan?
I played Final Fantasy VII when it came out.
Okay,
I was part of that generation that me and my friends all played that game when it came out. And spoiler alert, there's a titular, not titular, there's a main character who dies about 3/4 of the way through the game.
Yeah.
And that was like a big deal. Like me and my friends all like at school got together and were like, holy shit, did you get to that part? You got to Ares. They killed Ares. You know, she died and blah, 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 blah. My one friend, swear this is a true story, stayed home from school because he was so emotionally distraught that character, Aerith, I believe, Ares or Aerith, depending on if it's English or Japanese, from what I remember, which version of the game, because of that character dying. So
I had that over my 7 years with Mass Effect when a certain character went away. There will never be another Mass Effect because I don't know. I love that they put out a game and then 2 years later the sequel comes out based on your choices. And then 2 years later the sequel. Now you can play them all back to back in a year. But like the fact that was 7 years of a game and a story and these characters and
I wouldn't say I played a lot of those kind of RPG. I played like the Kingdom Hearts games, but those are more action RPGs. I played actually on Nintendo, I played like Dragon Quest and Dragon Warrior and like those top-down RPGs from like the early 90s. I didn't play a lot of RPGs on like PlayStation and stuff like that. I played a lot of the like Resident Evils and the Parasite Eves and the like Dino Crisis, a lot of those like Capcom running away from monsters games. That was a lot of my gaming.
Yeah.
Or the like Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Those kind of weird games.
Is there a game like Oblivion that has just been remastered that you could see? Like, Nintendo games are Nintendo games. They stay Nintendo games. But is there something like from your early Xbox or early PlayStation? I mean, maybe Final Fantasy VII, maybe Dino Crisis. What would you remaster to play again?
Oh, this is easy. This is the easiest question. For
really?
What big RPG style game are we
what any game? I'm just saying any game. If
Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Really?
Hands down. It's 2 games in one. That game is incredible. My friends and I, that's another one we played competitively. Who can get further? Who can get a higher score? Who can unlock more weapons? Who can do more in this game? Because you play through the entire. Have you played Symphony of the Night?
No, I don't think so.
So, but you understand the Castlevania formula, right?
Was this a side scroller?
It's exactly like all the other Castlevania games, except it adds an RPG upgrading kind of element. Okay. As you move through the castle, you unlock different things, you get new weapons, you upgrade certain parts of your character a la carte, you get new powers, new abilities.
Dracula backwards.
Yeah, Son of Dracula.
Would you
eventually go through the whole castle, and then you go through the whole castle again upside down?
Oh yeah. So you would give it a full like graphic overhaul, give it or see, I'm saying a remaster. What would you bring back to play again that is now graphically improved or would fit modern gaming that way?
Mega Man Legend.
Okay.
The 3D Mega Man. Did you ever play the 3D
I did not play
Mega
any,
Man
I did not play
Do you know
Mega
what I'm talking about?
That wasn't 3D. I never played a Mega Man that was a 3D.
This was like camera over the shoulder, like 3D RPG Mega Man, where you went around places and did things. That game would be amazing remastered. In the chat, Parasite Eve.
We've got a response from Bob on YouTube.
That's another incredible game. You could
feel free to chime
Parasite
in.
Eve today,
YouTube,
and it would sell the fuck out of everything. I also think
I didn't play Parasite Eve either. Man, are these PlayStations?
Parasite Eve was PlayStation 1.
Yeah, see, that's my thing. I was Xbox up until a year and a half ago when I got a PlayStation.
What'd you do before Xbox? Because there was that period where
I had a PlayStation
1 or a Sega Saturn.
1.
It was PlayStation 1 or Sega Saturn there for a moment.
Yeah, I had PlayStation 1.
Okay. See, I did. You never played any of those cool Capcom games like Parasite Eve, Dino Crisis.
My Capcom was I played Dino Hunter or no? Maybe I played one of the Dino Crises.
Those were fun. They're like Resident Evil but dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Resident Evil but dinosaurs.
It plays the same way as Resident Evil. You're just running away from dinosaurs instead of zombies.
I think my game would be the game that got me into the Hitman franchise, and that's Hitman 2, Silent Assassin. Hitman 2 had just such a amazing story, and there is this religious background to the whole story. Like, um he's been taken in by a priest at a church, and your home base is at this basement of this church, and at the end of the game he walks off and leaves his rosary hanging, and they're playing Ave Maria, and like it was I will never forget the experience I had with that game. I was like, this is fantastic. I would love to see them bring the current modern day Hitman mechanics to the old Hitman game, Hitman 2, and just bring me back those levels again. The levels were fun, the maps were fun, and it'd be fun to do those old assassinations again.
So, if we're also talking about like what are great games, not just RPGs.
No, not RPGs, just any game in general. Because I never played a lot of RPGs. I'll be honest. Skyrim was the first RPG I latched onto because I had problems with games where your inventory was just a list of things. Skyrim made things tangible to me.
Yeah.
Skyrim made things you could look at the item, you could pick up the item. Everything was more of a physical item in the world as opposed to a description with some numbers. I'm not playing the fucking math game. I don't want to do all that. I mean, there are RPG elements now in Assassin's Creed and things like that, but yeah, I would. What's that?
Thinking of games to remake though.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Comic Zone?
I did not.
Comic Zone on the Sega Genesis was a fantastic game. It was a 2D side scroller, comic book art style, but the way you transition through the game, through the game, was there were panels. You'd go through a panel, and then you'd break through the white line between the panels of the comic book, or
Okay.
you'd like swing from one to the other.
Dude, I remember this or something.
The villain would like draw in characters. You'd see a hand come on screen and draw like 3 little monsters that would all of a sudden start attacking you, because the whole thing was like you were a comic creator who got sucked into your comic by the villain, and now the villain's out in the real world, and you got to try to get out of the comic book.
You
to
swap
stop him.
places.
Comic Zone. That game could use the full triple A, like give it to somebody, give it to the people that make like
fun.
Oh god, the two player game that we keep talking about, It Takes Two and all that. Give it to them, and because it needs to be fun. Because then you could do like different types of comic books. You could do like this world is like a Batman comic. This world is like, and then you could even reference some of the other things. Imagine you play like a game that's like a Batman world, and then it's the Batman Arkham Knight fight style. It's that game for a moment. And then maybe there's like an X-Men game that plays differently, plays more like or it's a Spider-Man-ish character. It's like a Spider-Man-esque character, but it plays more like Assassin's Creed. You know what I mean? You could do like different game styles in each comic book.
But that would be cool. That would be cool. Okay, I got one.
Go.
This is from my Sega Genesis days. Now, there's not many games there's not many games that you would remaster on Nintendo, because Nintendo games are a certain nostalgia. Nintendo, you don't.
I have about 3. I have some here in a moment, but go ahead.
Same with Sega, but there is a game that I played that was very niche, and I rented it a few times from Rob's Video, and it's called Haunting. I had to just look it up again. Haunting, starring Polterguy.
Haunting.
Starring Polterguy. That's the key. And it's from Sega Genesis in 1993. And you actually played a poltergeist in a house. And it was a top-down view like The Sims.
Oh, I remember this cover.
It was like The Sims.
I never played this game, but I remember that character.
Yes. And I'll tell you what was so fun about it. Picture The Sims, except for you are a ghost who can inhabit items around the house, like make a chainsaw float around and scare people, and you get points for screams.
Okay.
And so you're just finding ways to scare people, and each time the level goes up, it's people who are less scared of things. There might be a dog in the house that can see you now, things like that, and you need to find ways to scare families out of the house by inhabiting their items around the house.
So That sounds. You could make that a very.
That would
You
be
could
so much fun nowadays.
like
Just
how
yeah.
there's those weird games where it's like I am bread, where you're a slice of bread
What
and you
is
just
I
move
am
around like
bread?
it's on like most app stores, most game
Yeah.
stores. I am bread. You're like a piece of bread. It looks like it's just one of these silly games that costs like $2 and you get it, but like you could do it like that. Like, oh, now you turn into the toaster and now you're moving around as the toaster in three. No, that could be super fun. Just possess different items around the fucking house.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
that'd be a
yeah, and
blast.
scare little Sims like creatures out of the house, and you work on scare. You could get double scares if you could scare two people at once. But if they're hanging out in different rooms, maybe you scare somebody and run them into one room with somebody
You
else, and
can
then get
make
double.
it like the Dead by Daylight.
Oh yeah,
One like the monster, instead of the monster, you're the poltergeist jumping from item to item, trying to scare the other people who are in the game, trying to avoid getting scared.
that would
So,
be
and that's the
fun.
thing. Like, you're not running from a monster, you're moving around hoping something doesn't turn into the poltergeist and scare you. Or as the poltergeist, you can do different things like to fuck with people.
There's a good shout out from YouTube and our buddy Bob, Kid Chameleon. Did you ever mess with Kid Chameleon?
I mess with Kid Chameleon. I mess with Toe Jam Earl as
I
well.
just saw that Kid Chameleon is on our Switch under the pass. That you can actually play Kid Chameleon on Switch, and that would be fun. Kid Chameleon, for those of you not familiar, was an adventure game kind of thing, but the kid could have different abilities based on a different mask that he was wearing. He was a chameleon, could have different powers based on the mask that he would wear. So yeah.
I've got some Nintendo ones because you said Nintendo ones you can't really do. And I have several.
It would depend on, like, you can't just say I would remaster Excite Bike. Like, there's
I'm not talking
motorcycle
remaster.
games
I'm
out
talking
there.
full remake. Like what
Okay.
needs to be redone with the modern eye, with the AAA mentality.
Rescue the Embassy Mission. SWAT.
Oh my god.
That was
Me
a
and
random.
you jumping off the roof, parading down, me across the street.
You're sniping the guys out of the window, calling out the windows and stuff.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And at a certain point, you get something. I hit a button and dogs run in up the other thing to scare them out of all the rooms, so you could start.
Yeah.
Oh,
you could flash bang the front door while the other guy swings in the window.
That would be fantastic. There's a game called Police. Not police. Is it Police Story that I have? There's a Nintendo game I have that's kind of the same, that idea. But
on PC, I used to play the LAPD, the Police Quest games.
I played the fuck out of Police Quest as a kid. Oh, Police! I played 2.
Police Quest was way too adult for me, but it was awesome. Like, it was like truly doing police work and stuff like that.
There was an Indiana Jones game on PC I had that was that same style.
Is that the one where he got on the blimp?
Yep.
That was a pain in the ass. That was a difficult game after the blimp.
Game like that.
I did not know it was a Wayne's World game.
You had to find pieces of like a ticket. Is it pieces of a concert ticket?
Really?
But it was that same style of gameplay as the Indiana Jones game. But for Nintendo games, have you ever played Maniac Mansion?
Maniac Mansion, way back.
Could you imagine like a BioShock-esque Maniac Mansion?
I was just talking about BioShock not long ago.
Between teenager to teenager, moving throughout the house, solving these puzzles. Or you could make it, if you didn't want to do first person perspective, either you could make it a little bit of like Tomb Raider almost ish. Like a little bit more having to climb through vents and maneuver around this house and sneak, because that's the big thing as well. You'd have to sneak around this house while the crazy family is looking for you. If you never played Maniac Mansion, do that. That game is incredible. That's one of my favorite video games of all time.
Really?
All time is Maniac Mansion.
Wow.
That game would be fantastic. But my third one.
Yes.
It's a weird call out, and I don't know if you ever played this on Nintendo.
Let's hear it.
The Spy versus Spy game.
Oh man. That was so unique for its time. The way the multiplayer on it was so unique for
Insane.
its time. Yeah.
You had two screens. Imagine if Brendan and I were two different video game screens, and you
If
have a little dude, and we're running around the same map trying to kill each other with traps.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, nowadays without the split screen, that's the most perfect game. You would have to be so because everybody's screen looked. It's hard not to screen look. Yeah, you have peripherals and you use them, and it's hard not to be a screen looker back in the day. A shout out to everybody I shot on GoldenEye.
But could you imagine waiting? You're waiting in a lobby, and all of a sudden, boom! You're in a room. All the rooms look the same, and you're just running around trying to booby trap and figure things out. Lock doors, unlock doors, put traps on doors.
That would be fantastic. What a great shout out. I haven't thought about that in years.
I loved the Spy versus Spy. Once again, I grew up with this video store that was five tapes for 5 days for $5, and then they started doing Nintendo games. So there's 5 Nintendo. I could get 5 Nintendo games for 5 days, and I would just try shit. I would just grab. It didn't have to look good as a kid. I would be like, "Oh, I'll play that. Let's see what it is. Let's give it a shot." I tried Spy versus Spy. Yonoid was amazing. Yonoid was such an underrated Nintendo game.
I remember the first game I ever rented to this day, and it was called Spelunker.
Splunker.
It was like a spelunking game down into like on Nintendo, down into a little chute. Like, yeah.
Do you know what I was thinking of?
No.
Spot, the 7-Up game. Do you remember the 7-Up tic-tac-toe Nintendo game?
Yes.
That game was wild. It was just
remember
tic-tac-toe with the 7-Up Spot. They just would get away with making games back in the day that just completely were tied in. Like, remember how the Nintendo...
There was a Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle game that I remember was fantastic.
Crazy Castle?
For what it was. It was some kind of crazy castle shenaniganry game that wouldn't have been up my alley.
Birthday Party as well?
It wouldn't have been up my alley, but it was fantastic. Like Aladdin. Like, that game shouldn't have been as good as it was. That game shouldn't have been as good as it was. I never played Lion King.
We have a cartridge somewhere that's a Switch game that's both of those on the same cartridge.
Bob said Pro Wrestler. I'm wondering if that's the Pro Wrestler with Starman.
That is. That's the one. That's the one where they couldn't get the rights to it, so like they renamed everybody and like recolored everybody, and like,
there was like a creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, that was supposed to be Muda. That was
was it?
That was the Great Muda, and then they had to get rid of that idea, and they fucked it up and made it look like that. The blonde dude was Ric Flair.
Oh yeah. The blonde dude does look a lot like him. Yeah.
The one guy was, I think, Stan Hansen, even at a certain point, because it was supposed to be tied into something. But I'm trying to think of what other Nintendo games. Did you ever play Star Tropics?
I did not. Do
you know what I'm talking about, though? The top down.
I remember it. It. Yeah.
It was like Legend of Zelda on
not my. You've got me till about 3/4 down, and then I'm out. I don't know what it is. Like, certain top downs maybe, but like XCOM, you know how it's not fully top down, you're more 3/4.
3/4, yeah.
Yeah. Get me there, I'm still in, maybe. I believe there's a Marvel game that's been made like X-Men. By the way, we all just noticed you flick your pinky out for a second when you took that sip. You are a gentleman, sir. There you go. That's nice. Bing. You're nursing
Dolphins
that.
Taking a
Dolphins are taking what? Where are we at?
Tackle.
Have the Bengals taken anybody yet?
If they have, I haven't seen it. Let's take a look. Let me pull them list up here. So I've got it on the backup, the little TV up here.
For those of you who may not know, the NFL draft is currently on. For those of you who usually watch our show, draft doesn't only mean beer.
No.
There's also a thing called draft where they like select people. The Bengals are 17. Okay. That's what Bob says. The Bengals are 17. Wow.
So Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter has, let's see, Ashton.
Who was the number one overall, and where did they go?
Cam Ward, the quarterback from Miami, went to the Titans.
The Titans, okay.
And then Travis Hunter from Colorado, who I think it was either him or Cam Ward. We're going to go number one, of course. Went to Jacksonville, which I thought he was going to end up going. I thought the Browns had a higher number. I don't know if they did some weird, crazy trade. No, I think they did. They must have traded with Jacksonville or something. They've done something.
Yeah.
Then the Giants took Abdul Carter. The Patriots took Will Campbell. The Browns took Mason Graham. Ashton Genty went to the Raiders. Armand Bimbu went to Missouri. Then Arizona, Texas. The Colts are about to be up. Yeah, we're up in 1, 2, 3, 4 more picks.
Gotcha.
We're up in 3 picks. I'm sorry. But
is there anything you're hoping from the Bengals specifically?
Get some defense.
Get some defense.
Get some O-line. We don't need anybody that handles. We don't need anybody that handles a ball.
Get
we don't need
anybody
that touches the ball.
Protect Joe Burrow.
We need
please.
We need all the strong people, all the big players who don't handle the ball.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, we've got that part on lock. We need people to protect those people. I don't care if it's a DB, a DT, a CB, an H, not an HB, but like something big. We need big boys. We need big corn-fed dudes to put on the field and go boom.
Whoopsie. Sorry about that.
No, you can show your bet. What are you gambling on?
No, sorry. That was an accident. I was pulling it up for later, but just an FYI for you and me to know.
You have to have it set. You had to have that set before we started.
I had to have that set beforehand instead of start thinking about pulling it up halfway through.
Yeah.
But we can talk about it in a little bit. FC Cincinnati's playing this weekend at 2:30 in the afternoon on Saturday. I will be there, of course. And I got myself a little bit of a parlay pick for this weekend. Should we pop it up?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. Wait
a
second.
Real quick, before we talk about that.
That's the wrong one.
You want to have a beer?
That is the wrong damn one. Yes, I would like a beer, and I will find the right one. We'll get a beer, and then maybe talk about what we thought about WrestleMania and stuff like that. Maybe our thumbs up, thumbs down, or you know what? I'd like to say WrestleMania week.
WrestleMania week, yes. I'm drinking out of the Green Man glass. Green Man Brewing, legendary ales out of Asheville, North Carolina.
That is a fantastic logo. That is a fantastic. I love this art.
I've got a magnet of that on my beer fridge out in my garage. Tyler Warren, tight end from Penn State, has gone to the Colts.
Okay.
I have 2 different beers to choose from.
2 different beers to choose from.
Should I talk about the one I've already had, or try the one I've never had and looks super interesting? I answered my own question. Yeah.
There you go.
I was going to say, when I said the words and they came out of my mouth, I was like, okay, well, that makes sense.
So what's it going to be?
This is going to be rad. I'm excited for this. This is from Land Grant Brewing out of Columbus, Ohio. This is, I hate that. This is, no one cares about your soccer rivalry. This is Land Grant's PT5. So apparently each year our Space Grant Black IPA celebrates a milestone of interstellar exploration or a captivating celestial event. This year's edition celebrates Asteroid 2024 PT5, which joined us in our cosmic journey from September through January, serving as Earth's mini-moon. We'll see PT5 again in 2055. This is their PT5.
Cool is that?
This is their PT5 Black IPA, 7.2%. It says there are notes of pineapple, orange, and white grape.
See, this is where people who study our culture someday down the road, okay, the same people, the way we look at the Egyptians, are going to look at us someday and our culture that has fallen apart. And they'll be like, it seems that they made their drinks based off of the stars.
These are the hieroglyphics of our generation. These are going to be the tomes and markings that are left behind and are found by future generations. Weird beers with crazy names.
Ooh. Go ahead. From Northern Row. I am partial.
What a pretty green.
The Northern Row's cans each have a different color for each of their beers. The green is for the juicy IPA called Heckler. So
Ooh,
I
heckler.
have a heckler today. Throughout the land, there exists a raucous, never-ending demand for more IPA. We've answered the call with Heckler, a juicy IPA that satiates your thirst with notes of tropical fruit and restrained bitterness. It's 7% alcohol by volume. I used to drink this on tap after my shift. I did work at this brewery, admittedly, as a bartender. I worked in the brewery itself, and I worked as a delivery driver hauling kegs around. And I've done a little bit of everything. Actually, I did some social media and pictures for him too. So I love this beer. I haven't had it in the can yet, and I haven't had it in a minute. So I'm excited to have it this way. So
Black
Heckler
IPA.
IPA, black IPA. God, it's pretty. What's the percentage on it, if you don't mind my asking?
7.2.
What I love about black IPAs that I used to tell people too is they're so unique because they look so heavy and you drink them and they're so pop with nice. Oh, that must be good.
Land Grant.
Shout out to
Land Grant. Shout out to Land Grant. That is fucking delicious.
And a Northern Row Heckler.
Mm. Hercules. See, we need graphics.
A very grapefruity IPA, but it's a grapefruit that you haven't put a bit of sugar on.
Let me get a button. So we each need a button. We need 2 buttons. We need a button for good and a button for bad eventually that we can hit. And like a big thing shows up in like the middle of the screen, like right here between us.
Yeah.
Like, wah. It needs to be annoying. It needs to be loud. Lights and sirens.
You don't think the 2 things to the left and to the right here are annoying enough?
Oh, this thing?
The guys in frame.
This thing and this thing?
Yeah, both of us.
They're pretty annoying. So yeah, that's fucking delicious.
Good. Yeah.
So we just watched WrestleMania.
We did. It was a fun WrestleMania week.
Yeah, it was 2 nights, as it's wont to do. Saturday and Sunday. You came over here on Saturday.
Well, WrestleMania is Saturday and Sunday. Yeah. WrestleMania week is a plethora of things.
I watch Raw and I watch the clips of that happen throughout the week. I can't commit to that much in one sitting.
This is the first time I've tried to commit. I didn't commit to everything. I didn't
watch like weird shit. I
didn't do Effie's Big Gay Brunch. I didn't do Joey Janela's thing.
The no rope, and you were doing like nothing wrong with
Josh
that.
Barnett's Bloodsport is my thumbs up of the week. I loved Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. Like of the week for something new, I highly recommend it. They've taken I now it suddenly clicked to me that the Raw Underground and the NXT Underground is basically Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. Mm-hmm. And WWE was trying to do it, and it just doesn't work if you can't be fucking Natalya Neidhart walking out giving everybody the fucking finger and turning around and having low-key. I love her name, low-key legend on her back. Yeah. She is a fucking legend, and I'll tell you what, she's in amazing fucking shape.
She doesn't get the respect she deserves.
No, she needs a
fucking heart.
It's time for a title to eventually make its way to Natty.
Heart.
WWE had a lot of representatives at Bloodsport. They had Charlie Dempsey, William Regal's son. They had Carmen Petrovich. They had Karrion Kross. They had
he's reaching for the stars right now, man.
Did you hear that Kross promo?
What a promo.
Wow.
What a moment. What a story he's creating for himself.
Man. I mean, you know the promo's serious when he's using first names. He's calling AJ Allen and shit like that.
He called himself Killer Kross.
Oh, yeah, he called himself Killer Kross. Yeah. Fuck you from Killer Kross. Yeah.
I would love for them
to guy in the truck
to Killer Kross from Karrion Kross, because Karrion's dumb. It's a dumb sounding name. Karrion. It's dumb. He's awesome. He is so cool. He's cool as shit. That's a fucking dumb name. Karrion's a dumb name. Killer Kross is cool because you're a killer and your name is Kross. You're Killer Kross. That makes sense. Karrion Kross. Nobody would name their child Karrion.
I think it's JR or JT Kratos. Are you familiar with that guy, JR Kratos?
Kratos Jr.
Kratos. Yeah. That's
his Junior. It's Junior. He's
big boy, shaved head with.
It's either Kratos Jr. or Junior Kratos. One of the two.
Yeah. Cross fought him. Shayna Baszler fought Konami, who was trained by Asuka. Natalia was in it, like we said. But what?
Did we say a whole thing about that? Like
Konami.
Konami,
Yeah, the old game system.
Kana begat Konami.
She trained Konami when she was Kana, before she was Asuka. Blah
Kana
blah 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 blah.
before Katana came Kana.
That was one of my big favorite things of the week outside of WrestleMania.
WrestleMania was my favorite thing of the week. Raw was fine.
How do you
Everything
want
else
to
was
discuss it?
great.
You want to go by night by night? Do you want to tell me
I
what's
don't
your
know if we
favorite
need to
overall?
break it all down.
Oh, I don't think we need to break it all down. I was just going to say, like, was there a
It
favorite
was
from night
kind of
one for
one
you?
spectacle. Each night to me now kind of just hits as one spectacle. Even though they're
I
separate
see. Yeah.
matches, it
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
all just washes over me as like an event now.
I can't remember what was on individual nights except for the two main events, pretty much, and the two
I
opening
couldn't
curtain pullers.
necessarily even like run down the winners and losers for some of the things that didn't
But right
matter
now,
as much.
standing out to you, what really stands out to you? What was your takeaway?
Okay,
Is there a Mike's big
overall WrestleMania, they made really bold choices all together. If we're not going match by match, altogether, they made really amazing bold choices. Putting the Intercontinental title on Dominic Mysterio, what a choice. What a wonderful choice. We all knew Jey Uso was going to win. That wasn't the like, oh, good move.
I didn't. I
knew
really
he was
quickly
when the match started. As soon as that match started, you were like, he's winning.
No, I knew it halfway through. I remember a moment where I looked at you and I said, the more punishment that Jey Uso takes in this match and the more that Gunther is allowed to beat him, I feel like I'm watching him earn his title right in front of me. And halfway through that match is when I said, Jey Uso is going to win this match. Because up until that day and through the first ring bell, I would have told you they keep it on Gunther. Keep him going a little while longer.
He walked to the ring, and I was like, "Okay, this looks like he looks like he's going for it." And then as soon as that bell rang, and you saw him like buck up and run, yeah, I was like, "Okay,
all right,
he's getting that title." That was cool, but Dominic Mysterio was such an amazing choice.
Did you hear Hunter? Did you hear Hunter in the post show by any chance?
I might not have caught that clip because I only watched like the snippets of that.
I haven't watched the full press conference. I don't know if I will, but the snippet that I saw was great about Hunter. About
it's
this,
too much content to watch, man.
How you can never tell with the crowd what's going to happen, and who would have known all of a sudden by the end of the match they're on Dom's side to win the damn thing. Like, it was unreal.
Yeah,
it was unreal.
He is. Well, who was it who said John Cena said the next
John
day.
Cena complimented the hell out of him.
He said he was born for this.
Yeah.
And like when you watch him do it, he's incredible. He can get boos like nobody's business.
Right.
Nobody gets booed like Dominic Mysterio. And in wrestling, being a bad guy, that's it. Like that's the applause for a heel, for a villain is like the boo.
He just
nobody gets more boos than Dominic Mysterio.
He just had to bring a mic to his mouth, and people would just go crazy.
And not like we hate your guts, boo. Like
we're playing along.
This is what we're supposed to do, boo, motherfucker, boo.
Yeah.
Like booing like they paid their money just to come boo.
Yeah.
Not boo like, ooh, I don't want to watch this. Ooh, get out of the ring. No, like this is what we're here for, boo. And like that's what you'll want. So that was incredible. I think overall, I love the pageantry of WrestleMania. I love it. I fucking love it.
Like a werewolf mask on Jacob Fatu, which just gets such
masks,
excitement.
The entrances, give me the big costume. Seth Rollins did a mid-entrance costume change.
How awesome is it? I mean, okay, it's awesome and it's not awesome. It's not awesome for the people sitting there, but how great is that wide shot? And you're like, holy shit, how many people are there? But then you see these videos later on that are people showing you their view from the $400 cheap seats, and everyone around them is on their cell phones watching
There wasn't a
WrestleMania.
$400 seat in that building. Are you kidding me? $1,000 cheap
They
seats.
said
That's
they said the
WrestleMania,
cheapest
baby.
seats were 400.
Really? I didn't see that.
Supposedly. I mean, we're talking about we're going from like 10,000 to 400.
Okay.
Something absurd.
I
Supposedly.
mean, but are you even able to see what's going on?
It didn't look like it. They were watching the matches on their phones.
Oh, why'd you go?
There's
well,
some,
I guess you went to say I went to WrestleMania
to be
I mean,
there.
I
Yeah.
guess like I want to go to one at some point in my life. I want to be there for one of them and be like, ooh, I'd love to go to one in like a warm climate. I don't want to go to like the ones where it's like windy and shit. Like I'd love to go like, oh, we're going to Florida or like something like that.
Yeah. I mean, but for us, the closest ones are going to be maybe Chile, but maybe not.
Chile? Oh,
not the country. I mean, Stephanie Vaquera is over, but they're not putting WrestleMania there yet.
So I think ultimately, Indy has a huge chance. Indy's going to get one soon. The way they've been going to like Royal Rumbles for Indy, Pat McAfee's connection there. Indy's going to get a Mania.
Yep.
Since he's a possibility,
no.
I honestly, I think we could get a Royal Rumble. I think we could be a Royal Rumble spot.
Where?
I think
where do you host it?
Paycor.
An outdoor?
Open air Royal Rumble at Paycor Arena.
It'd be interesting.
The Rumble by the river.
But Royal Rumble usually happens when?
Fuck.
December.
Fuck.
Yeah. December outside in this area is not going to happen.
SummerSlam?
Maybe. But this city won't host a 2-night event.
Do you know what we'd be great for?
What's that?
Cincinnati Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Open air Paycor Survivor Series.
That's Thanksgiving Eve. And sometimes
great.
Or it used to be Thanksgiving Eve. It's
great.
Chilly.
Great.
It's chilly.
You could do Paycor that chilly. That would be okay. That many people in that place breathing and sweating, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fine. But also, wait. But it was the night before Thanksgiving that would interfere with the biggest.
Well, here's the thing: it's no longer
game of the year.
It's no longer the night before Thanksgiving. It used to be. Now they do Survivor Series on the weekend with all the others. But I used to remember when Survivor Series was called the Thanksgiving Eve tradition.
What is your favorite? Can't say Mania. Can't say Summer. Can't say like Mania, SummerSlam. What's your favorite pay-per-view? And it could be one that doesn't exist anymore.
It's probably the Royal Rumble.
Fair.
Yeah, it's favorite probably the Royal Rumble.
What ones do you remember that stick out to you? Because I, in particular, do you know what I used to love?
What's that?
World War III.
WCW?
WCW World War III.
You mean like the cages stacked on top of each other?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Triple cage, weird triple cage shit that they would do in fucking WCW. I used to love that shit, dude. I used to love like put the cage on top of the cage, baby. Let's go. I was a little redneck with it. I was like, yeah, throw them off and shit. That was great. I used to love I used to love the little like side WWE pay-per-views, like
the In Your Houses,
like Vengeance. And like all just these silly names for them.
Bob brought up Cyber Sunday in the chat. I was at that Cyber Sunday in Cincinnati. I was at that Cyber Sunday when K-Fed ruined the triple threat main event and came out and screwed John Cena over to help King Booker.
What a great name. There's not enough great names for pay-per-views anymore. Like it doesn't have WCW had the best names, even though the pay-per-views weren't great. Like they called like WCW Greed.
Yeah.
WCW Supercard. Like, okay. Yeah, it's a supercard.
Right.
WCW Super Brawl. WCW Fall Brawl was cool as shit. What a great name for a pay-per-view.
Yeah, Fall Brawl. Yeah.
Hog
Wild.
Dude, Hog Wilds were some of the best ones because
they'd rev those engines and shit. Like, It was Halloween Havoc. There's another great one.
No, Hog Wild had the DDP, Karl Malone versus
Karl
Eric
Malone.
versus Hulk Hogan, Dennis Rodman,
Just Rodman, yeah.
and DDP Jay Leno
Was
versus
it?
Hulk Hogan and Irish Big. I think those were two different Hog Wilds at two different years. Because that was during the whole like NWO
Yeah.
5 year fucking reign. But goddamn, I used to love Hog Wild. Hog Wild or Road Wild?
I think it was Hog Wild.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Hog Wild.
I loved
WCW Hog Wild.
Sold Out. NWO Sold Out was amazing.
Sold Out was a great thing. The first one especially, because it was so different than every other show they had ever done.
They had a Miss NWO contest stacked with the
like a
weirdest
takeover.
looking grandmas you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Literally the most I'm not trying to be insulting, but like they had like a Miss NWO contest and it was the most homely looking biker women. Like, here's Nancy. Say hi, Nancy. Arr, 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 arr. Oh, hi. Okay, thanks, Nancy.
I love that Nancy was like a English bulldog.
What was the bulldog?
Matilda.
Fuck. Matilda.
I love the British Bulldogs, man.
The bulldog.
The British
Bulldogs. Was awesome. The Heart Foundation.
Do you remember when the Islanders stole the bulldog?
Oh my god.
The Islanders, Haku and Samu.
Wasn't there that one match where was it Steiner's? Did we ever get Steiner's versus the Bulldogs?
I don't know.
Because did Matilda and what was their dog's name?
The Steiner's dog? I don't remember the Steiners having a dog.
They had a dog for a little bit.
Did they?
Yeah, the Steiners had a dog.
Yeah, its name was Rick.
Well, they had an actual dog though. They had Rick, and then they had
the dog-faced gremlin.
I'll be honest with you. That period when Scott Steiner like kind of left the NWO and was like a solo, like all my freaks, like shout out to my freaks and all that stuff, and he had that like valet Medeja. I love that shit. That was my favorite thing. I used to love like chainmail headpiece like coming out, Jack screaming at people, Scott Steiner right there near the end of WCW. That shit was incredible.
Agreed. So I think my favorite of the actual WrestleMania, like some thumbs up that just popped to mind, like awesome storytelling and cinema in the triple threat match. Good for Joe Hendry. I think that match was exactly what it should have been. I saw people saying that Randy buried him. No, Randy didn't bury him. Joe got in some great offense. And
there was no reason for Joe Hendry to do more against Randy Orton than he did. Like, you have to also realize if we're telling a wrestling story, it's Randy Orton.
Yeah, the only person who's like the person who's second to Cena right now,
right,
in those titles. Well, I mean, Flair is, but active wrestler second to Cena.
Joe did exactly what he was supposed to do. Joe Hendry nailed. They said, "Hey, can you make a WrestleMania moment? Can you be part of one?" And he did. And
did you hear what Hunter said about him? Hunter, when he talked to him, he said in the post show, he's like, I told Joe, this won't be your this won't be your last WrestleMania. The first one's the easiest. Enjoy it, or something like that. And so that's very cool.
I think as soon as his TNA deal is up, they're gonna snatch him up. Do
you think WWE announces that they have bought TNA the same way that they've bought AAA?
Yeah. I think in my opinion, now that WWE is finally on the roll again, owned by TKO in partnership with UFC, you have that synergy. I hate to say this, let's globally re-expand, baby. Let's start buying shit again.
They bought AAA.
Buy OVW back.
It's time to buy. I mean, the partnership with TNA. I don't know what the difference would be if they bought them. I mean, They've even got Evolve going on Wednesday nights, which is crazy. I watched a little bit of Evolve this week, and I'll tell you what's kind of cool. They've got these young the ID program people who are coming
Oh,
up.
we just got an edge runner.
Did we?
Bengals just picked Shamar Stewart, edge. Let's go.
Texas A&M.
Yes, sir. Let's
All
go. All right.
But yeah, I've been watching a little bit of Evolve, and it's kind of cool to see that they are bringing back some Evolve legends to train up the new kids. Like last night, I got to watch Timothy Thatcher beat on one of the young kids a little bit. Like you go in with Timothy Thatcher, you're earning your stripes in the ID program.
I also think they should start buying everything up to make everything better.
Yeah.
Like AAA is not going to get worse because WWE bought it. It's going to get better because WWE bought it. They're going to have more say. They're going to have more eyes. They're going to have more money available. Like they're going to have a better experience because it doesn't. They made it very clear they don't want to change what AAA does. They're just going to fund it and run it like a big company right now. Because I from what I see on like the podcasts and like wrestling clips I listen to, AAA isn't doing the best right now. Like they apparently have not been trending in the right direction. So it's probably good that WWE bought them.
From what I understand, Triple H was confused and thought AAA was another wrestler and was going to get his wife.
Mm-hmm.
So he bought him out, and it can't be any other triples.
No more triples. Triple H bought AAA.
How shocking was that to see? He's now
He's
just
no longer
Vikingo.
Eagle. He's just Vikingo.
So his dad wasn't Vikingo?
I think it's okay for like the hijo to eventually de-hijo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
like
Dominic
eventually
shouldn't be Hijo de Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio Jr. eventually dropped the Jr.
Yeah.
He's been Rey Mysterio for 30 years.
And he was technically a nephew.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I think that's perfectly fine. I think
was there anything you
really cool is that Worlds Collide. I'm
Yeah.
actually looking forward to that now because you're going to have a legit AAA presence.
I was going to talk to you about making that a day.
Oh yeah, I want to do
like,
that. I want to sit down and watch that shit
because it's followed by Money in the Bank. It's going to be AAA's Worlds Collide at 3 p.m, followed by Money in the Bank. That sounds like a day of barbecuing to me.
Hunter said, Tony Khan, hold my beer.
You think you can bring two people together through a forbidden door? We'll buy the other company and make the best version of it you've ever seen.
We'll see.
Honestly, I think within the next 2 years, you hear them announce they bought New Japan. It only makes sense.
Nobody's buying New Japan. New Japan will be their own thing.
Bullshit. Everything's buy them. Everything's for sale.
Have you heard those stories from the wrestlers in New Japan about all those guys?
They don't
that
have
are funding
WWE
and buying?
money. Yeah, okay.
They're
great.
the fans and those investors and the people that take them out to dinner do.
They fund the wrestlers though, and WWE won't stop that. They don't give a shit about that. They just want to buy the company and own the rights and the publishing and like own the property. I don't think they would try to change. I don't. You think
I'm
AAA...
mad that I don't have NXT Europe yet. I'm happy that I might get NXT Lucha Libre.
I think you're going to get NXT Japan before you get NXT Lucha, before you get NXT Europe.
NXT Europe was announced. I don't understand why we haven't gotten it yet.
Probably because they can't build the roots. Like they scorched the earth with NXT UK, dude. Like they took everything.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a British scene to be built on?
There are still some of them out there. By the way, do you know who? Oh man,
Big Dick Dudley.
I can't think of his name.
Big Dick Dudley.
No, not Big Dick Dudley.
Sign Guy Dudley. No? Look up Sign Guy Dudley, kids.
Sign Guy Dudley, Big Dick Dudley. How many Dudleys were there? There's so many Dudleys.
The pre-WWE Dudleys are like beautiful. It's what pro wrestling is all about. The pre-WWE Dudleys.
Do you know who Man Like Doris is?
Yes, I have heard of Man Like Derice. Is it Man Like Derice in the ID program?
He's not in the ID program, but man, he's like a British rapper, and he's all of that British rap that I love so fucking much. When I say oh one, you say two one.
Go to chip shop.
He's
Put
talking.
some vinegar on my chips now. Put some fish. Put
He's
some fish with these chips. Put
he always comes out saying, when I say oh one, you say 2-1, 0-1, 2-1, 0-1, 2. It's like his area code, and he has these LED glasses on. And what's funny is he took on El Phantasmo, who is now just called ELP.
Yeah,
And El Phantasmo walks over as the announcer.
They did that in Bullet Club.
El Phantasmo has his LED glasses on, and he walks over as the guy's announcing him and whispers something in his ear, and the announcer goes, "The man with the best LED glasses in wrestling." And Man Like Derice loses his mind all of a sudden, and they're in each other's faces about their LED glasses. It was quite funny. But I saw, there's a good one. Dances with Dudley is good.
Yeah. Dudley.
Dudley. Dances with Dudley. Sign Guy Dudley. Big Dick Dudley. Yeah. Anyway.
The Dudleys.
We should do a shot and get to some gaming. Perhaps.
Can we talk about Heel Cena, though?
We could talk about Heel Cena.
I love it.
Is that your big plus of the week? Mine was the triple threat. My big takeaway. Okay. I love the triple threat.
That was
my big plus. No, that was my big thumbs up.
I think that was a better match.
Yeah.
Cody Cena, absolutely. But there's something special to me about this new heel John Cena. It's not even the match. It's the interviews he's cutting. It's the things he's saying to announcers. It's the way he's conducting himself. The promo he cut on the Monday Night Raw after Mania.
He's awesome, but there's things tied to it that I don't like. The Rock should have made an appearance.
No, I disagree. I think The Rock should be gone. No.
How long did it take Travis Scott to get to the fucking ring?
Oh, God.
That was the problem, too. And when is John Cena happy to see Travis Scott that he's going to save the day for John's?
I'm seeing they're going to do a tag match. We're going to see a John Cena Travis Scott teaming up against two other people match.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah. But I love heel Cena. I'll say the triple threat Punk Roman Seth was the best match. But the thing
I will say
was happy was heel Cena.
I will say a close runner-up for fun, great match. Bravo to the women who kicked it off on night 2. Yeah. Rhea, Io, and Bianca, because that was a hell of a match. They went all out.
Io's special.
She's awesome. Awesome.
Io's like, we know what Rhea can do. We know what Bianca can do.
Yeah.
Io's special.
Io's awesome. I have a lot of fun there.
Big shout out to El Grande Americano.
Oh, come on.
The plate was used. Oh, the beautiful.
Barry and Ray Phoenix.
The best headbutt in the business. The most wonderful headbutt from the Gulf of America. El Grande Americano.
You are a stupid person wrapped in an idiot.
No, I just want Ray Phoenix to lose. I hate that Chad Gable gimmick. But I want Ray Phoenix to lose.
Why do you want Ray Phoenix to lose?
Because I don't want him to join Penta.
Well, they're going to after the draft.
No.
Is there anybody right now? Have you been keeping up with NXT much?
I think I'm shocked Trick's not already moved up.
I let you call
crazy.
I let you call up one or two, 3 people with the draft. Who do you call up?
Oh, I'm calling up 3 people from the draft. Okay,
1, 2, 3. What do you like? I mean,
Trick.
Yeah,
I got 3. Atomic. Trick Williams. Trick Williams is your number. Trick Williams. You should build him up the way they built Finn Balor when he got drafted to Monday Night Raw. It should be. He's going to Raw. He's going to Raw. He's going to Raw. I'm going to disagree with Roxy in the chat.
You don't think Roxanne's ready? She's done everything she can do.
I think she continues to carry NXT. No,
she doesn't carry.
Cora Jade is ready.
How is Stephanie Vaquer not the one carrying NXT? How Julia, Zoria, Sol Roca?
but
You don't need Roxy's place is on the main roster now.
Roxy is your rock that every one of those other people can bounce off of throughout the year. You need some heel that can go against everybody. I'm not saying never, but I think if you're looking at that situation, who can you remove, not hurt NXT, and they're ready to go to Raw and do something really cool? If I look at Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade right now in this moment, I'm moving Cora Jade up.
No,
I'm sorry. Out of the two of them,
it's Roxanne.
Moving Cora Jade up. It's absolutely not Roxanne. Roxanne currently, right now in this moment, I think she's the Bret Hart of NXT.
What are you? She's been there so long. She's done everything she could do. She's won everything she could win. She's also had the Royal Rumble record now. She's done main roster shit. Like, yeah.
Bret Hart. That's Bret Hart.
But
that's Bret Hart.
It's time to move her up.
That's Bret Hart, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think she does not need the Monday night, the who are we drafting Roxanne Perez. She can show up randomly when NXT has all the other things in place. They don't have a solid female heel.
And one of them is Roxanne.
I'm telling you.
They've got those 3 girls in Fatal Influence. They can do heels. Let Cora Jade be the heel, because Cora Jade needs a little more work.
Is the Bret Hart of NXT.
Exactly. So it's time for her to move on and let Cora Jade take her spot. And
what happened when Bret moved on to WCW?
Oh my God!
Goldberg kicked him in the face, and he never wrestled again. That's what happened.
Needs to move up.
No, I don't want her to get Goldberged.
She's not gonna get Goldberged. If I had 3 right now, I'm telling you, it's Trick Williams, it's Roxanne Perez, and it's Ethan Page.
We agree on 2 of 3. We agree on 2 out of 3. It's
okay.
Ethan Page. It's ego time all day, baby.
I think Ethan Page had his quick stint there. It's awesome. Let Ricky.
He's everything MJF should have been. I said it. He's everything MJF should have been, and is not.
We'll see.
He's.
I mean,
MJF
I'm not a big MJF
better pathway.
Pair of shoes. Ethan's
better
very well
jacket,
dressed.
a better promo, better everything.
Ethan I don't think he's
what MJF
yet.
The character
I think someone needs to come in to remove Obafemi, and I still think that's Jeff Cobb. Supposedly Hikuleo is inevitable to NXT. I don't know how they use Hikuleo. Supposedly his brother Tamatanga is out on the main roster injured. That just came out today, but I don't know. And that's where I
so I also do want to take a moment and point out that NXT also has a plethora of there's characters you can move up even though they're not like ready for NXT. Who's the mobster guy?
Supposedly he's on his way, Tony D'Angelo.
Like
there's a hell of a storyline with him right now.
Certain characters don't have to be NXT champion and be like top of the roster before they move up. No. I think you can move Tony D'Angelo up and have a viable character on SmackDown.
I think you could too.
Put him on SmackDown and he will do incredible. I think you take the rest of the family with him because I think you need that faction.
Well, the family's having some problems right now. We got to figure out. Luca Crucifino may have been killed this week. We don't know what's going on.
This isn't Lucha Underground. Nobody dies. Anyway.
Yeah, they do. They killed the one guy off in the Tony D'Angelo family, and then he showed up on AEW.
I'm about to say, then he went to AEW. Cole Carter. Was it Cole Carter?
Cole Carter. That was the good call out.
Yeah, Cole Carter. I will say, who's the one girl? Thea Hale.
My God, what energy!
There's something there, man.
There is something.
There's something like there is a like.
Don't doubt
There's
it.
a WrestleMania main eventer somewhere. There's an Alexa Bliss style like shift in there somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't mean goth Alexa Bliss.
Have you heard her new music and stuff?
No, but I'm talking like, remember when Alexa Bliss went from being like the techno guy, like Blake and Wesley's like valet
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
being her own person. And then next thing we knew, she was a double champion on Monday
Yeah.
Night Raw.
Yeah.
I think she could do that if they figure it out.
Right. Yeah. No, I could see that completely. I think. Wait, who were we talking about?
Yeah.
No, yeah. No, it was the music that I was thinking about. That's what I was thinking about. Sorry, the music. Have you heard her new music? It's great.
No.
The music starts with it's her voice saying, "I'm a grown-ass woman," and then she comes out on because there was that whole thing that everybody treated her like a kid and the Chase University thing. Now she comes out and she's fucking intense to this music. Says, "I'm a grown-ass woman," but Thea's back wrestling now, and I'm excited for that. There's a few women down there I really like. Saul Ruka, what fucking athletic ability! Holy shit.
Yeah.
Just unreal. And Zarya, who she's with, their whole team, Zaruka. I like it. I'm here for it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. I think that was said by John Michael Montgomery.
Let's do a shot.
You've been watching The Masked Singer?
I have been.
How good is how good? Or well, I don't know if you know who went off this week. Do you know who went off this week?
I didn't watch it yet. I won't watch till this weekend when my kid comes over.
Sounds good. There's some great outfits, I will say, this season. Like my favorite, just as a camera guy, was the Paparazzo's outfit. Do you remember?
Okay, yeah.
That was a cool
one. Matthew.
His brother is
Lawrence.
Yes,
yeah.
He was in Mrs. Doubtfire. I love the Nessie costume and the Mad Scientist monster. They're so big and just everything like that.
Right,
what are we doing? What are we doing after the show? Are we gaming? Are we not gaming tonight? What are we feeling?
We'll figure it out. We'll turn and see what works. See what the internet allows us to do.
We'll figure it out because maybe then we'll talk about some other things that we missed. There's some great new movies coming out. There's some TV shows coming out. There's some Goonies. There's some Beetlejuice 3. What do you got? You got a shot?
I'm not even doing a choice. I got one I've been wanting to do.
It looks clear.
It's clear-ish.
Here we go.
Pee-pee colored. Ooh, square Evan Williams apple.
I've done Jack Daniels apple. I've done Jack Daniels apple, and then I did Bird Dog apple. Now I'm doing Evan Williams apple. Let's see who's got the best apple. Right now, the winner is Jack Daniels. Bullshot.
Cookies and cream.
Bullshot.
Whiskey. All right, cookies and cream whiskey. You got apple whiskey?
I do.
All right, let's ride.
How's it smell? Ooh, I don't like. Okay, I've got a problem.
So this smells like the cookie dough bites you get at like the movie theater.
This will now be the third apple I've done because I did Jack Daniels apple. I did. You look like you're snorting it. I did Jack Daniels apple. I did Bird Dog apple. Now I'm doing Evan Williams apple. Jack Daniels apple was good.
Okay.
Bird Dog apple tasted way too artificial.
Okay.
This smells way too artificial. So that's the problem. Is I'm worried this is going to be more artificial. But
right. Evan Williams apple. Evan Williams apple.
Yep.
Cookies and cream.
Cheers.
Whiskey. Cheers.
That's not a natural apple flavor.
I wouldn't call that cookies and cream.
What would you call it? Ew.
Cookie dough or chocolate. Hot chocolate.
What was your percentage? Was it at least up there? I was 65 proof.
68.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Whew. So,
well, it's been fun.
That was the show this week. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow wherever you watch the show. Go to 2dwh.com every week. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at 2dudeswearinghats. Follow him at that dude named Brendan. Follow me at that dude named Mike. Make sure once again you like, subscribe, leave a comment on YouTube, and we'll see you all soon.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
We made magic.
Woo. There's a little cookie left.
Uh-oh.
A little cookie for the nook.
Crumb. It's a crumb.
I want to start a Limp Bizkit food truck. Just sell nookie cookies.